WWBCB presents Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Enough is enough, and it's time for a change!
I can't believe I'm putting my voice to this.
Call in with a question or comment at 215-949-3232 or 888-922-2149.
Thank you for your irrelevant opinion.
And now, here's your host of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Fearon.
The first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I got to say. I'm a broadcast journalist. I have a right to my opinion.
Oh, son of a...
I am the best on this microphone, in that ring, even in commentary.
Well, there's the sound of the bell, and we're as set to go as we're going to... No, that was last week at the remote. Back in studio here at 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com for Pro Wrestling Weekly. I'm your host, Fearon Derry, alongside all of my friends here, apparently, including Denny O, who just walked back into the studio so he can... Yay! Exactly. No, I'm flying solo today, it looks like here.
Han Solo?
Napoleon Solo, Solo, you can't hear me? No. I've got the pod up, so I'm good to go in that regard. Huh?
You got pod?
No, apparently that was earlier this week. Or so people say. I don't know. Something about this past Monday. Rob Van Dam, he would know a lot more about that. Yes. Something about April, 20-something. I don't know. That's certainly not something that I want to note about in wrestling history, though. We've got that coming up. We've got Extreme Rules coming up tomorrow. I'll have predictions certain to go wrong coming up later in the hour. The show that you thought you wouldn't hear. As initially, last week I did announce that we had high school baseball action, but things changed. Things got moved around, and that game is probably close to wrapping up over on 107.7 The Bronx. Pennsbury and Hopewell Valley, so thus I can be here with you, and I'll be here with you for the whole hour. I was also given the word from program director Matt Miro that we can go right up until 1 o'clock and then join the Trenton Thunder game in progress here on WBCB. So, wow, that's a lot to get into. We've got some various news and notes, some things we're going to go over in the hour. WWE sued over a deceased wrestler's likeness being used. We'll talk a little bit about that. JR's one-man show coming to the Big Apple. Talk a little bit about what's going on with good old JR, Jim Ross. Also, Chris Jericho. He's going to be on the network this coming Thursday. I'll get into a little bit of that. NXT coming to Philadelphia. That's right. I know people have been going ape wild over that, to say the least. A former WWE creative team member blogging about catty and crazy divas. Oh, where's Lucas when I need him for that one? And a TNA star on the ice at an NHL playoff game. That's just some of the things to tell you about. Plus, locally, oh man, there's a lot going on. I'll tell you about a Monster Factory show coming up that I'll be heading to right at the conclusion of the show. Also, a huge card up in Rahway, New Jersey for Pro Wrestling Syndicate. That's just some of the stuff to get into. Plus, Lucas's favorite segment, birthdays. Well, that'll be interesting. We'll get toward that at the end. But a couple of observations over the course of the week as we're in the go-home week for Extreme Rules, the pay-per-view coming up tomorrow. First of all, not that it's necessarily going to have any impact on the pay-per-view itself, but something that we've noticed since WWE came back home from abroad over in the UK. But Fandango, he's ditched Rosa Mendez, and he's back to his old theme. That's right, the Fandangoing craze. They're trying to get it going again some 2 years after it initially got going following WrestleMania 29. How well it's going to last, I don't know. It went over amazingly in London because, well, the international crowds are just rabid crowds, to say the least, because they don't often get to see WWE come to their town. It's usually a once or twice a year thing. Whereas, okay, they're going to Dallas or they're going to Los Angeles or New York or Baltimore or Chicago or wherever. It's like, oh, yeah, we saw this a couple of months ago when you guys were here. The luster isn't quite as there. So I guess they're trying to restore the luster on the old Fandango theme, for better or worse. And I don't know. I think the crowd this past Monday wasn't quite as into the Fandangoing craze as the rabid London crowd was. But Fandango, well, he got the chance to... he had Fandango Mania against Axelmania, and Curtis Axel still trying to take the bit that seemed to, we thought, run its course at WrestleMania, but apparently not. And it doesn't look like that Curtis Axel is going to figure in, at least as far as a match goes, an advertised match, in, as he's been calling it, Extreme Rules. Wonder where they're going to go next. Are they going to go, I guess, for the next pay-per-view in 3 weeks, Paybacksel? Is that the next thing that they're going to do to stretch this out a little bit further? You'd think I'd be writing for them, but that's probably, now that I say that, what they're going to do. Triple H announcing the return of Tough Enough coming up in just a couple of months on June 23rd. I don't know. Triple H talks about Tough Enough being, looking for the next Seth Rollins, but there have been more misses that have come out of Tough Enough than hits. I mean, from Andy Levine to Maven. Gosh, I'm trying to think of some of the others off the top of my head. Needless to say, they're a veritable who's that of wrestling winners, for lack of a better term. Also, as Triple H had announced that on Raw, he announced that Kane would be the guardian of the gate. Essentially, he's the doorman. Kind of like, what was that character? Lorenzo Music's character in one of those 70s sitcoms. I'm having a brain lapse here today for some reason, but... yeah, so that's going to add to the intrigue of the cage match, as there's been some dissension between Seth Rollins and Kane. So now he might get involved, and we'll see how that plays in the steel cage match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, where Randy Orton's RKO banned from being used in the match. How's that going to be enforced, by the way? Is that, I know I'm asking about all these rules and whatnot, but if Randy Orton uses the RKO, does that mean that Rollins automatically wins by disqualification in a steel cage match? I know, this is some next-level analysis that seems to be coming up here. Also, another note from Raw, as Roman Reigns looking for revenge on the Big Show after choke-slamming him onto a car in London. I was so happy to hear about this. That's right, my boy, Bo Dallas, returning, at least in a formal on TV, not just buried in a battle royal fashion. This is probably about the part where Lucas would say he hates me right about now. Conspicuous by his absence. Guess he's still getting ready for the thing next week that I'll talk a little bit more about regarding the Monster Factory. But hilariously, Bo Dallas calling Roman Reigns the Tim Tebow of the WWE. And I know here in the Philadelphia area, there's been a lot of Tim Tebow talk after he re-signed with the Philadelphia Eagles. With, of course, Merrill Reese, the voice of the Eagles, being heavily involved here in the station. You knew that was going to come up as a topic of conversation. But getting chance after chance and always failing. But, of course, he doesn't have to if he just believes. But Dallas got a Superman punch and a spear for his trouble, so that didn't exactly go over well, to say the least. Oh, man. But, yeah, well, I'll go over the card for now, and then a little bit later I'll have the predictions certain to go wrong. So it looks like we've got 8 matches on the docket, 7 of which will be on the pay-per-view, and the 1 kickoff match. You've got Tyson Kidd and Cesaro against the New Day's Big E and Kofi Kingston. That's for the tag titles. Also, Roman Reigns against the Big Show in a last man standing match based on their feuding over the last couple of weeks. Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler, we talked heavily about it last week, for better or worse, the Kiss Me Arse match. That's right. I had the history up at the Children's Expo. The kids, oddly enough, had quite a bit to say about it, both on and off the air. Dean Ambrose against Luke Harper. This was just recently added in a Chicago street fight, even though they haven't really had much of a feud or anything. But I guess because it's in Chicago, and yeah, that's about all I got. Not much else. It almost seems like kind of a thrown together last second type deal. At least that would be my best guess. But seeing as they're having it in, suburban Chicago, the Rosemont, Illinois, the Allstate Arena, of course they got to go Chicago street fight. John Cena defending the United States title against Rusev in a Russian chain match. That's right, both wrestlers chained together. The winner is the first one to touch all four corners of the ring in succession. So it's kind of like your strap matches from back in the day, just with the added chain as opposed to a strap stipulation. Yeah, that's kind of my reaction to it. I don't know. I mean, I guess it'll work. It's something we haven't seen in a while, so I'm okay with that. It like shaking things up, bringing something back from the past every once in a while. I mean, at least they're not going, dog collar match or something like that. Oh, that's right. That would require bleeding. Daniel Bryan defending the Intercontinental Championship, if he's healthy enough, against Bad News Barrett. Also, the Divas title on the line, Nikki Bella against Naomi. And that's right, an interesting story coming up on the other side regarding how the Divas are viewed. Not this is really a surprise other than hearing about it from a former WWE creative team member, thus pretty much confirming what we've all been suspicious of. And Seth Rollins against Randy Orton, steel cage match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Kane, the guardian of the gate. I guess he's got the key to the cage door, and Randy Orton's RKO banned from being used in the match. That's all going down at Extreme Rules coming up tomorrow night. Now, let me take care of a little bit of business. We'll come back. We'll go over a litany of the news and notes that we've got going on here. We've got room for your calls as well, 215-949-3232 or toll free at 888-922-2149. We'll also take a look at some of the Facebook feedback on the other side, the WBCB Pro Wrestling Weekly Facebook fan page. Definitely quite a bit that's gone on over the course of the week. Including, I should have figured this was going to be brought up. The cards pretty much set for the War of the Worlds coming to the old ECW arena, the New Japan Pro Wrestling and Ring of Honor co-mingling shows. The two nights they'll be going on Tuesday and Wednesday, May 12th and 13th, I believe it is. It's actually going to make for a busy week of wrestling in the Philadelphia and Mid-Atlantic area. So we'll get into all that coming up on the other side. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Lucas, conspicuous by his absence, he's getting ready to train to become a professional wrestler.
Wait. Hold on. That skinny...
He's been hitting the gym. He's adding a little bit of muscle. He's not the bag of bones that he was as the 15-year-old intern when he came in here. He's 17 and now, with parents' permission, is able to train at the Monster Factory. So this is a chance for him to get his feet wet.
I thought I saw him just a few weeks ago. He didn't look transformed.
Well, oh no. I mean, he's not exactly going to be on the cover of Muscle and Fitness magazine anytime soon, but I mean, he's bigger than he was.
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your host, Fearon Derry.
All right, he's training, he's taking the vitamins, he's saying the prayers, brother. He's doing the whole bit.
I hope so.
I'm a celebrity now.
Yes, conspicuous by his absence, Lucas the Intern, getting ready for the Monster Factory 3-day camp coming up next week. So that's going to be 3 weeks in a row he's not on the show. Wow. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry is here with you, though. That would be me. I don't know why I'm speaking in third person. Definitely not that egotistical. But we're talking all kinds of stuff, professional wrestling and otherwise. Got some news and notes coming your way, including WWE getting sued over the use of Eddie Gilbert's likeness. Tommy Gilbert, which is Eddie Gilbert's father, has filed a lawsuit against WWE for using his late son Eddie Gilbert's image without compensation, according to TMZ. Meanwhile, WWE believes the lawsuit will be thrown out because they purchased the rights to use classic footage of various promotions. Meanwhile, ESPN, they won a legal battle with a former wrestler over, oddly enough, classic footage. Former pro wrestler Steve Wild Thing Ray lost a legal dispute with ESPN. Ray's claim was that the network violated his publicity and privacy rights by airing his Universal Wrestling Federation matches. The Eighth Circuit Court of Appeals in Missouri ruled that Ray's state-based claims are preempted by federal copyright law. It almost seems like this is a cash grab of, oh, hey, I wrestled 30 years ago, and now somebody else has the rights to it, but never got my permission. If the company sold the rights to it, you're not going to get any compensation for it, but that apparently isn't stopping people from trying. Doug Summers also lost a battle with WWE a couple of years ago, basically over the same thing regarding his likeness airing on archived AWA footage. So doesn't look like this is going to go so well for Eddie Gilbert's family. Just saying, just throwing that out there. So I had mentioned the Russian chain match right before the break, and Eric from the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, he chimed in. Could the Russian chain match have a similar finish to the JBL versus Eddie Guerrero Texas Bull Rope match finish from the Great American Bash 2004? And I had to do a little digging because I kind of remember it, but didn't exactly remember. Eddie Guerrero had made his way to the four corners, but at the fourth corner, since JBL was right behind, JBL was touching the corners in succession as well, and touched the fourth corner just before Guerrero did, thus declaring JBL the winner. So kind of a schmaz, questionable finish, kind of a way to, a quirky finish to make both guys look good, but at the same time not have a definitively declared winner. All right. Also pulled up on here, as was posted by Danny from the Montgomery County area, bringing up the advertised cards for the upcoming Philadelphia Ring of Honor New Japan Pro Wrestling shows. Of course, the War of the Worlds. They're up on the Facebook fan page. Looks pretty good overall. The Briscoes are involved. Tanahashi and Jushin Thunder Liger are there. The Young Bucks are going to be part of the card. Jay Lethal's going to be on there. Watanabe. It's a lot of these names. Some names I know, some I'm not. I'll admit that Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling, I'm familiar with a few of the names, but it's not something that I have extensively done a lot of viewing on. And I'm sure some people are, oh my goodness, how can you not watch New Japan Pro? I don't know. Maybe it's just, even with my quirky sleep schedule, I guess it's just not, I don't know. It's not something that really gravitates toward me. What can I say? In other news, I'm not really a big fan of Funyuns. Just throwing that out there. All right, another news and notes. JR, his one-man show is coming to the Big Apple. I know we talked about this a few weeks ago. Tickets for the Jim Ross one-man show that will be held August 22nd in New York City at the Gramercy Theater went on sale this past Monday via Ticketmaster. JR's show will be the night before SummerSlam, which is August 23rd. There are also very few tickets available for JR's show in Baltimore 3 weeks away on May 16th. That'll be the day before the Payback pay-per-view. Again, that is down in Baltimore. Now, this is interesting. Chris Jericho, he's going to be doing an interview on the WWE Network this Thursday. That's right, WWE announcing that the next edition of Chris Jericho Live, as he just had John Cena on a little bit ago, it'll be held this Thursday, April 30th, right after SmackDown. Jericho will be interviewing Stephanie McMahon, with whom he definitely has a history with, having her brought into various feuds since he made his WWE debut back in 1999. Some disparaging comments that I don't know if I can necessarily repeat over the air. Something about a trash bag. An equivalent to one of the Godfather's ladies. There we go. That's how he get around skirting the censors of that. A questionable decision, though, to have that interview air at that particular time, as it's going to be. Now, I know that there's a huge crossover of wrestling fans and football fans. And this Thursday is also the first night of the NFL draft. So I don't know. I mean, I understand it's the end of the month. They have the free month of April. So they thought, all right, let's end the month with an interview for enticing more network subscribers. Maybe try to get it up to 1.5 million for the next corporate conference call, and then watch the stock dip another $1 a share or something like that. It seemed like a good idea at the time, right? Isn't that how it kind of works? No? Okay. Well, in brighter news, now I did mention that Ring of Honor and New Japan were coming to the ECW Arena on May 12th and 13th. That's going to be part of a busy week for wrestling in Philadelphia, as NXT is going to be in Philly that same week. That's right. NXT will be on tour in May and June. WWE announcing this week, including Thursday, May 14th in Philadelphia at the Tower Theater. WWE advertising Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, Hideo Itami, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and Bayley for the event, among others. NXT will also be in Albany, New York on May 16th, that's Saturday, in Pittsburgh on June 11th, Cleveland on June 12th, and Columbus, Ohio on June 13th. Now, I'm kind of curious to see how they're going to do the setup in the Tower Theater. Now, the last time I was there for a wrestling show was a couple of years ago. I think TNA Impact Wrestling had a house show there, and the way the theater is set up, it's not your typical arena or other theater in the round type scenario. It's almost like a Broadway building or something, or any kind of a standard auditorium where you have a stage in front and the rows of seats all leading back. And that's what TNA did. They had their ring on the stage, and they had their entranceway off to the left of the stage, and they had wrestlers come out through the entranceway and wrestle in the ring on stage. So the further back you were, you almost needed binoculars to be able to see what was going on in the ring, as it wasn't all around the arena, but it was just a straight line, everybody looking at the same thing just from however far back. So I don't know if NXT is going to go that same route. Maybe that's part of the intrigue of it, but it is an interesting scenario, to say the least. Now this makes me shake my head, mostly in disappointment, but I don't know, probably also a little bit of, I guess you could say, frustration as well. Nah, I won't go to Bret Hart on this one, although I thought about it. Former WWE creative team member Kevin Eck. He also did, I think, some writing for the, the Baltimore Sun, I believe. He took aim at the booking of the Divas division in his recent Eck Factor blog. Clever. Eck wrote, quote, "The combination of AJ Lee's retirement, Paige going on hiatus, and Naomi turning heel has left WWE with no babyface divas, unless you count Natalya, who sometimes shows babyface traits but is part of a heel act with WWE Tag Team Champions Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. To further muddy the Divas landscape, the Bella Twins, whose Mean Girls act has made them the top heels in the division, came across as babyfaces on Raw this past Monday. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised by the questionable booking. During my time on the WWE creative team, we were actually told that there really are no babyfaces or heels in the Divas division. It was strongly implied that the Divas are all just a bunch of catty chicks, most of whom are mentally unstable." Wow, where do you go with that? It's disheartening almost that you look at the NXT women's division and they seem to have everything going in a positive direction, and then you look at muddy the landscape is pretty much it's a great way to put it, and that's what Kevin Eck did, which is probably why he wrote for a newspaper for a little while, more than a little while, to say the least. But yeah, no baby faces or heels in the Divas division. Strongly implied that the Divas are all just a bunch of catty chicks, most of whom are mentally unstable. And that's why more attention is put toward the Total Divas program than the Divas actually wrestling on TV. And going back to the Facebook fan page for Eric chiming back in, I don't like Funyuns either. I might get some letters or some other trouble for that. Who knows? For those, I did get the question, and I'm not sure if I'm supposed to answer it or not. But I'll go ahead and bring it up because some people are intrigued by it. I did find out what the reasoning was behind the traffic issue at last week's Children's Expo remote. Apparently, there was an additional event that had occurred regarding the county's electronic recycling drop-off event. And because of that, there were an additional 100 cars out front participating in that. And that occurred right pretty much at 9 o'clock. And by the time they got that cleared out, the expo had already started. So between that and the helicopter landing, there was a lot of confusion. But they said the folks at Senator Tommy Tomlinson's office said that we look forward to seeing you again next year, traffic-free. So they apologized for the inconvenience, and it certainly made for some fly-by-the-seat-of-your-pants radio, that's for sure. It was a lot of fun with the philosopher Chris Ermer. Always good to have him on and talk about who knows what. I should have brought up last week, because I know that he has a youngin' with the cartoons and whatnot. I should have brought up the WWE Flintstones crossover. I got the chance to see a review of it, thanks to Jay Hunter and the folks at OSW Review. Definitely want to check them out. I know I've been giving them a lot of love for good reason, but it's standard kid thoroughfare. I liked the Flintstones as a kid, and it was what it was. Yeah, it's pretty much all that you what you can expect, I guess, for lack of a better way of phrasing it, I suppose. Oh man. Anyway, a TNA star is on the ice, or was on the ice at an NHL playoff game. Yeah, no, I haven't talked a lot of TNA recently, but this I thought was rather notable. We'll go with that. TNA's Eric Young led the crowd in the national anthem prior to the Nashville Predators home playoff game against the Chicago Blackhawks on Thursday. He brought the team some good luck as they beat Chicago 5-2 to keep the best-of-7 series alive. Chicago leads the series 3-2, thanks in part to taking a double overtime and triple overtime victory in earlier games in the series. Game 6 is tonight in Chicago. No word if CM Punk will be in attendance. Oh, why not? He's got the UFC stuff going on, so maybe he can take a break from that to watch his Hawks do their thing. I know the Flyers are nowhere near the playoffs, so good job there, hosers. Speaking of UFC, Dana White recently said in an interview that Ronda Rousey will not wrestle for WWE. That's right, UFC President Dana White telling John Pollock of the Fight Network that he will not allow Ronda Rousey to wrestle for WWE. White referring to her WrestleMania 31 appearance as, quote, one and done. And when asked if Rousey would wrestle for WWE, he simply said, nope. I guess kind of like, I don't know, no word as to whether or not he said it in the similar fashion to Dean Ambrose, who had the very infamous nope as well. Huh. Look, it just made his way into the studio. How about that? Well, I should say into the building. But if he makes his way into the studio, that'll be a whole nother story. But, okay, maybe he is. He's making his way in. How about it? Mike Samsel making a cameo and saving my collective ass as I'm kind of riding solo today here. Samsel, what's good, brother?
Not much. I am so out right now. I don't think I've even seen any wrestling since, other than the Raw I watched last night on the WWE Network from 1998.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Was that around the time that they were teasing Paul Levesque's new nickname and calling him Try for a little bit? Do you remember that?
No.
No?
It wasn't. It was...
I don't like what Try's doing.
The main event was... it was the night Shawn Michaels took over as commissioner.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I guess after... That might have been... Was that post-surgery? Well, it had to have been post-surgery, I guess, at that point. That was... fairly late in 90.
Yeah,
it's all a blur back then. Yeah. Okay. Oh, it was December 98. Okay. Yeah. Right around, that would have been, the Rock Bottom pay-per-view? Somewhere in that realm?
Yeah, the main event was X-Pac against The Rock for the WWE Championship.
Wow. My, how times have changed.
Yeah.
Do you want me to quick give you this Extreme Rules rundown to just, further push you away?
Sure, but the thing that's annoying me, I can already see because I see the ads online and stuff, is they're trying so hard with Cena. Like, have you seen the poster for the pay-per-view? He's literally painted in red, white, and blue. Like, his face is an American
flag. Oh, that's right. I did see that. Yeah, they're trying to make him another... Lex Luger circa 93, 94, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I don't know.
John Cena is
Nothing says Americana like Thugonomics.
Right. John Cena is so hated that people are actually rooting for Russia.
Wow.
Like, they got to stop. I don't know what they're going to do, but they just can't keep doing this. Or
they can't keep with the Americana.
Pushing people further and further away.
Real American.
Yeah, exactly.
Every man.
I'm waiting for him to come out the Real American. Like, just make him Hulk Hogan. Just bring him out in red and yellow and.
With the
tell me what
you
I'm
can't
not
see me.
Yeah.
Tell you what you're not
watching.
watching.
Tell me what I'm not watching on Sunday.
There we go. All right. Well, the kickoff match: Kid and Cesaro against the New Day's Big E and Kofi Kingston for the tag titles. That's your kickoff match.
Half of that's interesting.
Clap. No. Yeah, no, they won a number one contenders match this past Monday on Raw against the Lucha Dragons. Who got brought up.
Dragons pretty quickly.
Yeah, they brought a few guys up from NXT.
That would have been nice if the Lucha Dragons would have actually won. That would be a match I'm interested in.
They're slow playing it, I think.
Yeah.
You got Roman Reigns against the Big Show in a last man standing match. Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. I'm just...
I think the fans are going to lose.
That might be the best prediction. Well, I don't know. Actually, there might be a few fan losers in this one, including
I feel like Rocky 3 and Mr. T was Rocky 3, right?
Yes.
What's your prediction? Pain for the fans.
Very good. Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler in the infamous Kiss Me Arse match. Yeah, I last week at oddly enough, the Kids Expo, I did a retrospective on all of the preceding matches in wrestling where people had to pucker up for posteriors. Yeah. Yes, it was rather entertaining. That cluster bleep. If I didn't tell you, I'm sure you heard about. Oh no, okay, no. We'll have to have a chat off air about that. It was a thing. It was definitely a thing. But it was still fun. It made for some very fly-by-the-seat of your pants radio.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I did the first segment of the show via my car on the Bluetooth.
Oh, tremendous.
Yeah, that's it. So it was like the old flipjacks.
Well, if you can't be good, be bad. Just don't be mediocre.
I think I was good at being bad, I guess. I do that a lot on this show. What can I say?
I tell that to Sean all the time when Sean and I are calling a game because me and Sean did a Westchester game 4 overtimes. And
Sean Lerman. Sean Lerman. Yeah, people who listen to BCB here.
And at the end of the game itself, at the end of the broadcast, my brain was just melted. So words came out.
Kind of like me when I'm doing this show.
Right. Words came out. They were just in the wrong order. I'm sure there were some extra ones there that didn't belong. So I just say, at the end, I just go, "Good night, everyone," and then just kind of walk off. And Sean was like, "Wow, that was terrible." I was like, "No, here's what you don't understand. When we're good, we're pretty okay. But when we're bad, we're great."
I've got to rack that. That's... That will definitely be a drop in the future. the near future. Tomorrow.
I'm surprised it'll take that long.
Well, I mean, I've got to go to the Monster Factory after this.
Okay.
Yeah, there are other things going. Yeah, the very quick turnaround. Actually, maybe not even tomorrow. Softball and Extreme Rules and.
Oh, you're gonna watch that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I feel obligated as a broadcast journalist of the longest-running pro wrestling radio talk show in the history of terrestrial radio to do that. You're scowling at me for giving that shameless self-promotion. Oh, you're just sandbagging the bleep out of me. Wow.
You drive alone, my friend.
If I wanted that kind of sandbagging, I'd look to Lucas. Yeah, but he's not here.
I'm a celebrity now.
Or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You don't have the headphones on, so you can't hear the drop.
Nope, no idea what that just said. But I played
said
it off
I'm a celebrity now. Yeah,
Got it.
that drop. Foxwell uses that a lot in the mornings, I've heard.
Yep.
Good times. All right, so the Russian chain match, I'm sure you know about that.
Yeah. I'm rooting for the chain.
You're rooting for the chain. Well, Cena knows a bit about chains as the chain gang soldier from back in the day.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
We don't.
That's like the WWE just quietly never acknowledging the American badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Undurst taker.
Right. Can I say badass on the radio?
You just did.
Yeah, I think I just did.
No, you're good. You're
I'm
fine.
not sure if I can do that or not.
No, in this case, yeah, because it's the American. Yeah, it's the character. Well,
got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I've dodged. I've dodged stronger bullets. I don't know. I was trying. I didn't know where I was going with that. See, this is the part where this is the part where words are coming out, and I'm not quite sure what order they're in. So Bryan's health pending. Daniel Bryan will be defending the IC belt against Bad News Barrett.
Yeah, as much as I love watching Daniel Bryan wrestle, it's scary to say that it looks like the WWE might be justified in not pushing him.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Yeah, it might be. Who knows? That might be it for Daniel Bryan, at least as far as being the Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah.
And you've got Nikki Bella against Naomi for the Divas title. Because, I know
AJ left.
Yeah, AJ's out. Paige is on a hiatus at the moment.
What's wrong with her?
I think she's filming something.
Oh, okay.
And
another good overall business move by WWE. Take your best on-screen performers off to put them in movies that no one's going to watch at your weakest time of the year. Solid decision.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Like the Guinness. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Well, actually, Kevin Eck, the former writer, wrote a whole blog basically talking about how muddy the waters are and how there are no faces or heels in the Divas division, and they're just a bunch of catty chicks.
Yeah.
With instability issues.
There's that.
Kind of like a lot of your ex. No.
Hey.
But
just because it's true doesn't mean you could say it.
I'm just making jokes. Just throwing jokes out here, because apparently Naomi's heel because she attacked Paige, but she's still coming out to Funk is on a roll. And the Bellas have been showing face-like tendencies, but they've got the Mean Girls thing going on. It's a mess. And then, of course, in a very overbooked main event, Seth Rollins against Randy Orton in a steel cage match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Randy Orton's RKO is banned from being used in the match, and you have Kane as the Guardian of the Gate. Yep,
good to see they're showing faith in Rollins.
Pretty much.
Oh, God.
There's a lot going on, to say the least.
Bad wrestling is bad.
Well, there's some good wrestling that's good going on around here. We can get into that for... actually, wow. I should probably take care of some business first.
Yeah, probably.
Take care of the business, if you will. No, but always appreciate a few minutes. Samsel, what are you working on anyway? What brings you in here today apart from crashing my show and doing me a solid?
No, I just like crashing your show. It's Trenton.
Oh, I love it.
Trenton Freedom game tonight over on BCB's partner, 107.7 The Bronx. You can also come out to the Sun National Bank Center. 877, I don't remember the number. This is bad.
86753. No, that's not it.
No, I was about to get
Damn
out
you,
the
Tommy
Bronx
Two-Tone.
Just go to TrentonFreedom.com or Comcast Dix for more information.
There we go. See, you're
And you
working
might not
without a
see me at the
script.
arena because I forgot the number.
You know what? The season's early.
It's a young year.
It's a young year. A lot of this stuff isn't ingrained in the brain.
Yeah. That's pretty bad.
Okay, I don't know. I got nothing.
Load faster, TrentonFreedom.com.
You know, it's all right. Yeah, here you go. Go to TrentonFreedom.com. Tune into the games. Mike Samsel has the call, at least for now.
Yeah, at least for now. I'll probably be whacked by the end of the night.
If not, then he'll be back here, since Lucas seems to have disappeared, as the new co-host on Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Yeah, seriously, Lucas, what's going on?
I don't know. We've got. Is this Nick Cataldi making his way?
Lucas.
Wait, what? He disappears for 2 frickin' weeks. What the? Oh man! And now all of a sudden he shows up 10 minutes before the show's over.
Dun dun dun.
Now, you see, no, it is playing for the people at home. You're asking, is there music? Yeah, I've got Cult of Personality playing, but when the microphones are on, you can't hear what's going on in the studio because of this little thing called feedback.
800-500-1776.
What?
There we go. Okay. 800-500-1776.
Why are you getting
For the
out?
Trenton Freedom.
Wait, why is he getting out?
Samsel's making his way out. He just spent the last, 15, 20 minutes here with us here. I guess we'll get to hear from Lucas on the other side, now that the show started 50 minutes ago. We're going to take care of our second time out, come back, and figure out what the hell's going on with Lucas. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, April 25. On this date in 1963, the Nature Boy Buddy Rogers became the first Worldwide Wrestling Federation heavyweight champion after the WWF left the National Wrestling Alliance. On this date in 1994, WWF Monday Night Raw aired live from Burlington, Vermont. In the main event, the Head Shrinkers defeated the Quebecers to win the WWF Tag Team Championship. On this date in 1999, the WWF held its Backlash pay-per-view. In the main event, Steve Austin defeated The Rock with Shane McMahon as the guest referee to retain the World Wrestling Federation Championship. On this date in 2010, WWE held its Extreme Rules pay-per-view. In the main event, John Cena defeated Batista in a last man standing match to retain the WWE Championship. This has been Today in Wrestling History, April 25.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here with you alongside Lucas the Intern. Better late than never, I guess.
It's a long story that I don't have, and we don't have enough time because we have a lot to do. And
You ain't kidding.
yeah.
All right, well, first, let me mention wrestling action returning to the Monster Factory. That's right. That's right. That's coming up this afternoon, a mere hour and change from now at 541 Mantua Avenue in Paulsboro, New Jersey. That's a 2 p.m. bell time. See QT Marshall square off against Damian Adams. Just to mention a few of the matches, mixed six-person tag, Peyton Foles, Jade Spencer, Royale Money, and Chad Kensington against Funky White Boy, Mark Cruz, and Lisa Rennie. Also, Clutch Adams putting his Monster Factory Heavyweight Championship on the line against former UFC fighter Matthew Riddle. Tickets just $15 for adults, $10 for kids 12 and under, and are available at the door. Start making your way down there. It's in Paulsboro. For us, it's like almost an hour drive, so we've got to rush right the hell out of here as soon as things are going on, or as soon as things are done going on here.
Yeah.
Monster Factory. Plus, they've got the 3-day camp next weekend, which you're going to be a part of.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
May 1st through May 3rd. For those with experience and those looking to begin or further their training, it's your chance to train to become a professional wrestler. I don't know if any spots are still available, but I would say give Danny Cage a call, the Monster Factory owner, at either 609-471-7904 or email him at monsterfactorytv@gmail.com. And once you've talked to him, you can reserve your spot via PayPal. Just added to the weekend camp, ROH personalities Kevin Kelly and Brutal Bob Evans.
Wow.
They join Factory alum and former WWE superstar Cliff Compton. Plus, those who sign up for the 3-day camp will be eligible to attend an exclusive seminar at the Factory in June with WWE talent evaluator and Vince McMahon right-hand man, Gerald Briscoe.
Wow.
So you're pumped for that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Also, Pro Wrestling Syndicate's stacked card up in Rahway, New Jersey. Jake the Snake Roberts, Larry Zbyszko, Jimmy Superfly Snuka, Mick Foley, Team 3D will be there. ECW's New Jack, former diva Ashley Massaro. Doors open at 6. Action starts at 8. Tickets available at the door, and the full card is available at bedofnails.com. All right. Card. Yeah, that's right. Extreme Rules. We got to rapid fire this. Definitely have to rapid fire this. All right, kickoff match. Kid and Cesaro against the New Days, Big E and Kofi Kingston for the tag titles. I got Kid and Cesaro.
Kid.
As do you. Roman Reigns and the Big Show in a last man standing match. Samsel picks the fans as losers on this one.
Reigns.
I'm going with Reigns on that one as well. Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler, Kiss Me Arse.
I'm going to go Shamo.
I'm going Shamo on that as well.
Shame.
Yeah, or shame, as says Samsel. Dean Ambrose against Luke Harper in a Chicago street fight.
Ooh, this is going to be good. I'm going to go Dean Ambrose.
I'm going Ambrose as well. We're agreeing pretty much across the board. Cena and Rusev in the Russian chain match for the U.S. title.
I'm going to go Cena.
As am I. Daniel Bryan and Bad News Barrett for the IC title. Bryan's health pending.
Bryan retains, but if he doesn't, then I want to see him going to the main event at SummerSlam. If
You're looking a little ahead?
If they want to give him time off for a surgery, then yeah.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news. I'm going with Barrett on this one. Okay. Nikki Bella against Naomi for the Divas title.
I'm going to say Naomi.
I'm going Nikki.
I'm predicting nudity.
No, that's definitely gonna go wrong.
Yeah,
then.
accidental nudity.
Yeah, definitely going wrong. This is not the Attitude Era.
If this happens, then can it be Nikki, please?
I'm just saying it'll happen.
Hardly racist. Seth Rollins defending the WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Randy Orton. Steel cage match. Kane's the Guardian of the Gate. Orton's RKO banned from being used in the match. I think Seth Rollins retains.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same. Seth Rollins retains.
I do too, but I fear Vince McMahon is panicking about his low ratings.
It's very possible.
I feel like Vince McMahon at some point is just going to be like, you know what? We're going to ban every single move, and they're just going to finish every match with a schoolboy. That's what we do. That's what's best for business. No, it's not, Vince. No, it's not.
Very frustrating. Also, well, we got just enough time for your favorite segment.
Birthdays.
Well, crap, I got nothing. April 25th, a day with no notable televised wrestlers' birthdays. I mean, Kane's got a birthday tomorrow. He'll be 48, but I got nothing for today.
Okay, fine.
But I can go to your comedy realm for one.
We don't need to, but sure.
Yeah, sure. On this date in 1964, Henry Albert Azaria was born. The comedian and actor best known as one of the principal voice actors on The Simpsons. The voices of like Mo Sislak, Chief Wiggum, comic worst book ever guy, and Apu Nahasapima Petalone.
Hank Azaria?
Hank Azaria. He turns 51 today. How about that? And we got Nick Cataldi.
Quick question.
Yes.
Why do you have a Russian chain match for an America's title?
Well, because Rusev is, well, it gets even more muddled. Rusev is a Bulgarian wrestler who is representing Russia. Exactly. It's all kinds of confusing.
Okay, well, now I understand.
Yeah, I don't.
Nothing, but I understand.
Yeah.
Nothing.
That's pretty much where I'm at. All right, that's going to do it for us. Trenton Thunder Baseball is coming your way very shortly. I believe we're going to bring up the news here and then go to the feed of the Trenton Thunder game in its opening progress. Lucas, you'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yes.
As you'll be at the Monster Factory camp next week, and I'll be back next week with the results and recap of Extreme Rules via recording, as I have also signed up for the Monster Factory 3-day camp.
Seriously?
I am serious as a heart attack.
No way.
Which is probably what I'm going to have after doing those sprints.
You seriously signed up? Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's right. Swerve, you didn't know about that until right now. I meant for it to be a surprise. We'll talk about it in the car on the way to the Monster Factory. Stay tuned. Trenton Thunder Baseball here on 1490 WBCB.
Serving you better than ever before. This is 1490 WBCB 11.